Meaningful Use Stage 2, focusing on what's new this year for 2014 and workflow for providers. Let's jump right in, and I recommend that we start from the patient's chart and look at the alerts, this orange triangle. And right now we'll see the MU alerts that need to be satisfied. Now these can be worked by MAs, PAs, and MPs, as well as the physician. When you come to this, anything that's not completed that is an alert, you can go ahead and take care of. A lot of them can be taken care of by right-clicking, for example, smoking. You can right-click and pick the status of never smoked. For allergy, I can right-click and choose no known drug allergies. Takes care of those right away. There's some new ones here this year, family history. To take care of that one, I need to right-click on it, say add a new family history, and that's going to take me right to the Add Clinical Item window. The key here is that we have to choose a first-degree relative to assign the family history to count. For example, choose mother, say no pertinent family history. And then, for example, choose father, and choose abdominal aneurysm. Hit OK and commit those changes. And we'll see that that alert for family history is now gone, resolved. We also need to make sure we do medicine reconciliation this year, as indicated by the need to click this yellow button. And to do that, we need to take care of medications on the medication list. These are unverified medications that came across from the SureScripts feed, and we can act on those to make them verified. By right-clicking and choosing Verify and Add, we have a number of actions we can do. We can add it as an active medication, discontinue it, mark it as completed, or defer it if we or the patient don't know where it came from. We can also just remove it or say entered an error. You can also multi-select these by either choosing Control or the Shift key for selecting them all. And then I can right-click and, for example, enter these all as active. And now I'm able to do med reconciliation. Before that, this patient needs a new prescription, so I'll show you how to write a new prescription and send it electronically. This is another requirement of Meaningful Use this year. Up to the RX button for Add New Medication. I'll be brought to the Add Clinical Item window under Orders and Medications. My suggestion here is to pick the problem the medication is associated with first, then choose the action you're going to do. In this case, we're going to send it to retail because it's an e-prescription. Then we can pick our medication. And write the prescription. Okay. I want to note that if you're not actually writing a prescription, for Meaningful Use Stage 2, we'd like you to choose Record Without Ordering when you're adding a medication. That's important to make sure your numbers add up correctly. Okay, let me commit those changes. Okay, I've now verified all of the medications as active, in addition to e-prescribe the atorvastatin, and I can do medicine reconciliation. In addition to the alert that tells us a lot of the things we need to do for meaningful use, there are other things that we need to do, and I'm going to go through them now. First is that we're going to do electronic ordering for lab and radiology. To do that, select the Add New Lab icon. One tip about labs, I like to keep a quick list of the things I order most often. That way I don't have to search a longer list. To get things onto your quick list, choose a lab that you like and right-click. Say Add to your quick list. And then when you hit the quick list button on, you'll see that that lab is now part of your quick list. So to make this streamlined, there's a couple things we should do. Number one, always select your problem first. Number two, pick your performing location. And then go through and check the labs. Having selected this first and this first, I can then say OK and not have to go to any other windows. Let me commit that order. So in addition to lab orders, we're also going to do radiology orders electronically. And again, always think about picking your problem first, having a quick list of labs of orders that you'd like to use, and pick your performing location. Then you can select your order. Another meaningful use item for stage 2 that's not on the alerts is the patient education requirement. There's two ways to satisfy this. One is from the med list. If you right-click on a medication, you can select Drug Ed, and this drug monograph then needs to be printed and given to the patient. That counts for patient education. Anybody in the office can do this. It doesn't have to be a provider. The other way to do this is to provide a documentation that you gave patient instructions through an order in Crown. Only ordering providers can do this. The way that's done is by ordering instructions. Under your specialty favorites, there'll be a MU Patient Education folder. Only orders that are in this folder will count for meaningful use. If you click on that folder, you then get a choice highlighted here, and all of these choices will count. I'll note that none of these choices count. They have to be in this folder. I'll also note, please try to remember not to click the button next to the folder, because that'll order everything at once. So again, with ordering, pick your problem first, then pick the instructions you gave the patient, and you can commit those. Another new piece for Meaningful Use Stage 2 is to write electronic notes. From the Note Authoring tab, select New, and this can be either a structured note or an unstructured or free text note. Both of those count. I favor using the structured notes because everything you've done in meds, problems, and allergies gets carried in automatically. I want to take a moment to remind us to drop our PQRS charges. This isn't part of Meaningful Use, but it's an important thing we're doing in 2014. So under visit charges, quality codes, there's a smoking and a med rec. And under procedure charges, and again, quality codes, there are BMI G codes. Now, every group has their own sets of G codes, but they'll be there available for you to choose. Okay. So to review, I've quickly gone through the MU alerts and how to take care of them. I've also talked about a number of things that aren't on the MU alerts that physicians need to do. One of those is to do medicine reconciliation. Another is to write electronic prescriptions and send them to the pharmacy. Another is to order lab and radiology electronically. Another is to write an electronic note. And finally, we talked about remembering to do your PQRS G codes when you drop your charge. I want to mention there's other pieces to the MU puzzle that your support staff handle, such as demographics, patient portal invitations, printing clinical summaries, And there's also a number of pieces handled by the FPO at a practice level. That concludes this review of new meaningful use requirements for 2014. Thank you.